All right, we have the 2018 Gray Wolf 26DBH. This is the video walkthrough. We'll start up front. You have your front tongue jack to lower and raise the tongue. So you have up and down right here. You also have a light right here, so if you're hooking up when it's dark, you can see. Your 7-way for your lights and brakes. Your chains are up here. Then you have a cable right here. This is just a breakaway. It's like an emergency brake. So if for some reason your trailer came off, that would just pull out and lock up the brakes. Your propane tanks are up here. You have a cover that goes over them. These screws or nuts just screw off to loosen them. Then this latch opens up and then you have access to the top of your tanks. This also just slides up, so when you need to get them filled, pop that off and then you take these off. So just like gas grill, turn on your knobs, and you're going to want to turn them all the way on. A lot of people think that if you just turn them halfway or whatever, that it won't have a lot out, but you need to have these all the way open so that they seal up properly and don't leak out. You have your propane regulator here. So this knob right here has an arrow on it. It tells you what tank it's drawing from, and it's green right now, and that tells you that there's gas going through. If this tank goes empty, that'll turn red, and if both of them are on, it'll draw from this one. If it goes empty, it'll automatically switch over and draw from the other one, but that will still turn red. You have a 12-volt battery up front, so that runs your lights and your water pump and all that. Moving down the side, up front you have your water heater here. That little tab just pops up and then you twist and the cover opens. This is a gas and electric water heater. For the electric, the switch is right here. Just flip it on, and once you're plugged in, it'll turn on. You're going to want water in the tank before you turn it on, or else it will burn out the element. You have your pressure release valve right here. So when you're going to drain it, you're going to pull that out first, release all the pressure. And then your plug is down here. That just screws in and out. It's also an anno rod, so the calcium will eat away at that instead of the tank. Then you have stabilizer jacks. You have one on each corner. Those are only made for stabilizing, so get some blocks, put them on their tires to level it side to side, and use the front tongue jack for front and back. Once it's leveled, you just crank them down until they hit the ground, or if you have blocks underneath them. And then once they're touching the ground, just give it a half to 3/4 of a turn. Just put a little pressure on them. Because they're only made to take out the shake in the camper when you're walking around, so don't try and lift up the camper. Moving down next to the slide, you have cable hookup right here, so you can hook a cable in there, and you'll have TV inside. Your slide room, and you have a little storage compartment in your slide. There's a little door holder right here that just opens up and holds the door open like that. So a decent sized storage. Moving down, you have more storage right here. And same thing, you have a little holder right here to hold it open. This is a bigger storage. And underneath it, you have your sewer connections. And they're color coded, so the smaller one and the gray handle right here, that's your gray tank. That's your sink and shower water. And the bigger one and the black one, that's your black tank, which is your toilet water. That cap just screws off. Hook your hose up there. Pull the black tank first. Once it's empty, close it up, then pull the gray tank to flush out your pipe so it keeps it nice and clean. Moving down, you have your water connections. So you have a city water connection. That's where you just hook up your hose directly. You're going to want to pressure regulator on it. It can either be on this end or the end before the spout, just as long as it's on the hose. Then you have your freshwater tank fill right here, so that's portable water. You have a tank inside or underneath the camper, so when you're traveling or if you're going to a state park, you can have water on board. Then you have an outside shower, so if you want to rinse things off or wash greasy dishes outside, you can. Then you have your power hookup right here. So this is a 30 amp connection. When you're at a campsite, just make sure you ask for the 30 amp service. If you're at home, you can plug that end into an adapter and then plug it into a household outlet. You can keep your battery charged, get your fridge cold before your trip. The only thing you can't run is your air conditioner because that requires that 30 amp outlet. And this right here is just a little coupler that screws on to hold on the power cord, and then you just twist it a little bit and wiggle it out, and same, plug it in. You just push it in, give it a little twist to lock it, and then screw that on so it stays on. Then you have your spare tire and a little rack back here, so you can pull that down and you can put your bikes on there, or if you have wood or whatever. This is pre-wired for a backup camera, so that's a nice option to have if you ever wanted to get one. Moving to the other side, this is the entry for the bathroom door. So your bathroom, nice easy access, so you don't have to keep tracking dirt or stuff through the camper. Next to it you have a black tank flush. What that is, you can hook your hose up there when you're emptying your tank, and turn on the hose and it'll just flush everything out and keep it nice and clean. But make sure the black tank valve is open while you're doing that, so it don't fill up and make a mess inside. Some outside speakers, TV mount out here, so if you want to have a TV outside, you can. And underneath the back of the fridge, that's just where we service it. You don't have to go back there. Then you have some cable hookup here and another hookup for the speakers for the TV. And then you have an outlet right here. Next to that, you have the exhaust for the furnace. When you're using it, don't touch it. It gets really hot. Also, don't have anything blocking it or in the way of it. It'll melt whatever's in its way. Then above it, you have a vent right here for the stovetop. Kind of hard to see right now, but this little flap right here, that just... Come on. So that just snaps closed while you're traveling, and then when you want to use your vent on your stove, just pop that open and it'll vent out. You have another outside shower here, and next to that you have like a little outside kitchen, so you have a small little fridge right here, and then underneath that you have a little cooktop so you can grill outside. There is, let's see if I can get it. There's a hose back there. It's a little stuck right now, but I'll get that out. So that hose right there, it just comes out and connects right here. You just push this little coupler back, connect the hose in there, and this is the valve to turn on the propane, and that draws from the tanks up front. And that is a little dust cap, so when you're not using it, just make sure that is on, because dirt and stuff will build up in there, or mud wasps like to hide in those little places. Moving up front, you have a connection right here for solar charging. This is pre-wired for solar charging. So if you're at a state park or if you're off-grid camping, you can get a little solar panel. It's like a little tripod. It'll just keep your battery nice and charged so that you'll be able to use your water pump and your lights. If you want to get one, this is a Furrion system, so make sure you're looking at for Furrion solar panels. Then up front, you have a storage compartment. Up here, this one's a bigger one. It's right under your bed, so you can access it from your bedside. And that is everything outside, and we'll move inside now.